Shri Vikas Asawat. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, I extend warm welcome to you all to second day of Atmanirbhar India as manufacturing hub for global healthcare, organized by CI Biod PGIMR Chandigarh. We are going to begin with our fifth and the last session on IPR and commercialization, lessons for an innovator, and then valedictory session. Over the last 2 days, we have been deep insights into several issues and challenges related to indigenous and equitable healthcare in India. So the main key points that we are going to cover in this session are the use of new technology for innovations and how it can be used as an IP for betterment of the human race. Commercialization of IP on the demand of economy, India and world. Shri V. Muralidharan will join us shortly. May I welcome our presiding expert, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Chairman and HOD, BLK Institute of Digestive and Liver Diseases, BLK Super Specialty Hospital, New Delhi. Dr. Ajay Kumar is a distinguished name in the field of gastroenterology. With experience of over 30 years, he has extended his services to patients hailing from different parts of country. Dr. Kumar has been conferred with several prestigious awards, including Dr. B.C. Roy Award by the President of India in year 2008, J. Mitra Olympus Award for the year 2007 by Indian Society, and International Service Award by American Society of GI Endoscopy. He has been the past president of Society of GI Endoscopy of India and is the president of Indian Society for Gastroenterology. Very warm welcome to you, sir. We have amongst us Dr. Che, Chief Medical Officer and Founder, iExsensor Incorporation, CEO, Brain Navi Biotechnology Limited. Dr. Che has background of medicine and biomedical engineering and has numerous publications and patents to his credit. In 2012, Dr. Che was selected into the STB program and was sent to Stanford University to learn the startups in Silicon Valley. During this period, Dr. Che and other 2 STB fellows start the company iExsensor. It was listed on Taiwan stock market in June 2019. In 2014, Dr. Che established another startup, Brain Navi Biotechnology Limited, and became CEO. And the company has won many awards too. Welcome, Dr. Che. We have with us Mr. Vikas Asawat, a registered patent and trademark attorney and advocate. Mr. Vikas Asawat is an alumnus of Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Law, IIT Kharagpur. He also holds Masters of Intellectual Property Law. He is a qualified patent attorney and registered with Patent Office. Very warm welcome, Mr. Vikas. We have with us Ms. Jaya Bhardwaj, Principal Hansraj Public School, Panchkula. Welcome, ma'am. We are privileged to have with us Dr. SPS Oberoi, Chairman, Apex Group. Welcome, sir. Now I invite first keynote address by Dr. Che. Over to you, Dr. Che.
Okay, thank you very much. I will start sharing my screen. So is that okay for you?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Hi everybody. I'm Jerry Chen, the CEO of BrainNavi Biotechnology. Thank you for the introduction for my background, so I don't explain again. Our company BrainNavi was established in 2015 August, and we have now about 30 persons in our company, and we are located in Taiwan in Hsinchu Biopark. In the past 5 years, we have already got 20 patents received, and we have another 31 patents in process. And our vision is to make the surgery precise and make the life more brighter. We have established a technique, we call it a SMART platform. It is standing for the surface mapping auto registration technique. With this technique, we can easily use our technique to register the patient and the medical images to do a lot of things. So we have already developed a nasal swab robot that help the doctors who do the nasal swabbing during this pandemic. And we have a NowTrack robot. It is used for autopilot neurosurgical navigation robot. And we also use this technique to develop ongoing projects for the liver cancers and lung cancers and other surgeries. So let me introduce you. Our first product is a NowTrack. It's a brain surgical navigation robot. This robot combined with several features. First, it can do the auto patient registration. So you don't have to make a lot of reference markers. You just pull the robot beside the patient and it will recognize the patient by itself and then merge the local registration to the CT MRI by itself in seconds. And it has also an instrument registration with AI, so it can knows the tools, length, the diameters, and the trajectory. So it will be very easy to use. You just fix the instrument on the robotic arm, and it will recognize it by itself. And then, of course, you can planning the surgical pathway in the family you are familiar with, such like CT or MRI, and let the robot do it more dedicatedly for you. And this is actually how it works. So we use the non-contact registration to do the registration more easier and then fusion it to our CT-MRI in seconds. And we also provide a visualized communication way so you can discussion the pathway with your patient more easier for the outcome and possible sequela. Yeah. And when doing the surgery, it will go from the entry point to the target point as you designed, very precisely and very dedicatedly. And you can use a lot of instruments such like the biopsy needles, the EVDs, and others. And with this technique, during this pandemic, of course, we want to help medical doctors. We know that there was a SARS 17 years ago, but actually the medical doctors still taking the same risk as 17 years ago. They still do the same way to do nasal swab and take the same risk. So we know that a lot of medical doctors are getting infected or even dead from the pandemic. So we want to use our technique to help help medical doctors. There is a study that in United States, more than 60% of the nurses and doctors want to quit their job because of the pandemic. So how to prevent them get infected is actually a key to protect our medical systems. Because if too many nurses quit, well, the medical system will be correct. So we have to help them. So how do we protect them? So we provide a nasal swab robot with the same technique we just showed for the NowTrack for the brain surgical robots. And it is actually the first and only nasal swab robot in the world that be authorized by a local government. We got the Taiwan FDA approval in in September, and we now apply for United States FDA EUA, and we hope to apply to other countries such like India or other place in the world. And this is actually how it does. This is actually the first in human cases. We designed a patented nasal clip. You just put it on your nose, and then the whole process will be contactless. So the doctors don't have to contact the swab or the patient during the process. The robot will grab the swab by itself. And after grabbing up the swab, it will turn in front of your face and then take 2 pictures of you. The first is the face pictures. It is used to recognize your nostrils and your angle of your face. And then we will take another picture for your profile. It is used to measure the distance from your nose to your ear. So every time you will know how depth it should go. It is actually the depth that CDC suggested. And after enter the nose, it will rotate it to the angle of ML. So it will be very precise to go to the lower channel of the nose. So there's no way to hurt the brain anymore, because every time it does, like a very trained, a well-trained nurses. So it will be very delicate, and doing the procedure, it will be gently and slowly. So it actually less pain than human does. And after doing the swabbing, it will return to the tube by itself also. And the whole process, the nurses or doctors just stand behind the glasses you see on the glasses or stand shoulder. So the whole environment was separated from the medical doctors and the patients. And we also combine a total solutions. And we combine with diagnostic tools such like the mini PCR from Roche or Abbott or others. Or you can use an antigen test such like from iSensor or other companies. We can combine that together to provide a total solution, a contactless total solution from the swabbing to the PCR report within 25 minutes. So that will actually change a lot. So you don't have to wait 6 hours for PCR, you wait only 25 minutes for the PCR. And this robot has been used in more than 3 hospitals in Taiwan. And we are right now discussing with more than 6 hospitals in Taiwan to become our first client. And we also contact with some South Asia country for the application, maybe in their airports. So we hope that with our technique, we can reopen our economy very efficiently with the large scale testing, such like in airlines, in some tourism spots, or with some big companies. And we also design a mobile medical trunk for COVID-19 that we discussed with our friends in South Africa. So with this container, we will have 2 sets of the nasal swab robot and several sets of the mini PCR. So it will be more efficiently to do so. And every container can have a lot of tests, such like more than almost 500 tests per day in 20 hours. And so that's our introduction for our brain surgical robot and the nasal swab robot. So we hope that this can give you some information of how we started from a concept to a 2 kind of device. And we hope that if you are interested, please find us. We will help you together, go with you together to fight COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Che, for sharing with us the technology you are working with. Thank you very much. May I now invite Mr. Vikas Asawat to share a few words with us. Vikas, please unmute yourself, Vikas. You need to unmute yourself. Yes.
A warm good evening to all of you. Ma'am, am I audible?
Ji.
Ma'am, are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think now it is in full mode. First of all, I am thankful to Dr. Chen, who has presented his information regarding robotic swab undertaking all these things in a very precise manner, and how we can see the value of his innovation, that he is doing in very precise manner. Because if the robot is disturbed in your nostrils, it may damage your nose. So we can see the how the innovations should be carried out very carefully. And he has also already mentioned that he has some around, I think, 20 patents already granted and 31 patents in pipeline. So it's really means they are innovative as well as inventive company. Now let me share some of my views with you, because today I will be discussing more towards the medical device patents. Because so the theme of the today is the challenges in protecting, managing, and enforcing intellectual property rights across the borders, because patent is a territorial right. So first we need to understand that whenever we apply for any right like patent right or industrial design right, these are territorial in nature. Suppose we apply rights in India, then we can enforce in India. If we apply rights in Korea, then we can enforce only in Korea. So we have to decide where our innovation can stand, whether it can stand only in India or can stand up in outside India also. So this is a very important, crucial decision to apply patent as per the requirement. So we have to identify the actual market. Second thing is that use of new technologies like artificial and AI and machine learning. So earlier sessions also in morning, Deepak Garg also told about some AI ML application. So since with the emergence of AI and ML technologies, now we have more and more innovations coming from the innovators, and they are protecting through various manners. Some in form of patent, some in form of copyrights. Suppose there is a mobile app to check the your blood pressure, then it can come under copyright. And suppose it is a procedure, it's a process, then it can come under patent. So it depends. Third, regarding commercialization, we have to keep two things into mind. First, whether there is a market in that particular country. Second, can we get our patent granted in that country? Because the patent sites are practically enforceable only when the patent is granted. Other aspect, we can look into the enforcement mechanism in that country. Suppose in some African countries, the enforcement mechanism is very degrade, so we cannot enforce our rights. But in countries like Europe and USA, it can be enforced, but the cost of litigation is very high. So means commercialization as well as these IPR issues go hand in hand, and we have to decide based on the cost factors. And third thing is that filing intellectual property rights in European countries and US is a little costly rather than Indian and Asian countries. So that aspect we need to keep into mind, that when we are filing in USA or in European countries, then we have to spend in lakhs. But in India, the cost is comparatively less. For individual and a startup, it is related too less, and even we are giving subsidy that if startup wants to file a patent application, then even the cost of attorney will also be reimbursed to the attorney. So basically, startup are almost filing in India by investing only few thousand of rupees. But if you go in USA and Europe, we have to substantial expenses in filing, prosecuting, and examination, response submission, and hearings. A lot of cost is involved. So that factor is also very crucial while deciding the territory of the patent filing. So there are a lot of things are there that already discussed about the background, that there are a lot of medtech startups are there, and there are a lot of issues like clinical trials, clinical needs, working prototypes, whether patentable or not patentable, whether it can be registered as a design or not, market accepted. A lot of issues are there. Before commercialization, we have to keep into mind that the product should be customer savvy, so customer can easily operate. So then only that innovation has a value. Now you can see that lot of devices like BP monitoring and sugar monitoring devices are coming. But even people are not aware how to take their glucose level, check their glucose level. So lot of issues are there, whether they are compatible to the culture or the people majority population. So compatibility and the easiness of the device is also very important factor while innovating and patenting. So today in morning we have discussed that which LVO is a mobile app that is for related to some for CAT scan of the brain, CT scan of the brain. That if there is any sort of occlusion is there, then it will immediately send the message to the particular surgeon or the particular medical practitioner who is handling the patient. So if there is within 6 minutes of the observation, it will go to the doctor, and doctor may immediately call the patient for further intervention. So those types of things are there, but see, if it's a simple computer program, India will not allow the India or the most of the Asian countries will not allow the it as a patent. They can only cover under as a copyright. Source code or the coding sequence may be protected as a copyright. So there are some limitations also that we have some issues regarding software. Software cannot be patented as such. Either it can be patented in terms of with some hardware limitation, or it can be protected as a copyright. So that is an important factor. So this is already discussed, I think, like affordability, accessibility, availability, adaptability. So we have some issues like medical devices patenting is itself a broad topic, because you can protect a medical device, but we cannot protect a medical method of treatment. So we cannot method of vaccination, we cannot protect it. So thing is that. Second thing, we have to carefully draft the patent application so that we can get rights over all variable intervention. Suppose if you wrong claim, if you put a wrong claim, we say that we have use of a medicine, use claim, then use claims are not allowed in India. So that is very important that we should claim but product claims are allowed. So we should claim very specifically. So this is the way the patent is allowed for medical method patents are allowed, but treatment claims are not allowed. And second thing is it, when suppose method claims are allowed, so who will use the method of treatment? The doctor. So basically there might be issues of infringement. Who is infringing? Doctor is infringing, not the company. So there are a lot of debate going on whether the method claim should be allowed, who is infringing. So there is a lot of gray area in that. But India is very strict that we will only allow the medical device patent. We will not allow any sort of method of treatment. We will not allow. Like you can see that medicinal methods are not allowed, like administering medicines via orally or via injections or via dermal patch, not allowed. Like surgical methods are not allowed, like stitch-free incision for cataract removal is not allowed. Curative is not allowed. Like diagnostic method are also not allowed, like investigating the history and then apply the test. It's not a patentable subject matter. Prophylactic method, therapeutic methods, these are also not allowed. So we have lost a lot of list of non-patentable subject matter. But medical device as a apparatus is allowed with various components. So like portable X-ray imaging apparatus, it is allowed because it has a lot of components. So we can claim the sequence of component, like rotation bar is there, power control switch is there. Okay, so photographic unit is there. So we can claim the apparatus. So this is allowed, like this. And second medical use is not allowed. Suppose a medicine is used for antipyretic, and you are coming with a new version of analgesic, relieving the pain of the same formulation, then it is not allowed. So like pregabalin for neuropathic pain, and if someone says I have find its characteristic for generalized anxiety disorder, then that claim will not be, because it's a mere second medical use. Like hydroxychloroquine, many of us using for the treatment of COVID, but since it's already present, we are using the same formulation to treating the other symptoms, so it is not allowed. And in some cases, like fixing of doses is also, like if you are using two paracetamol and ibuprofen, so it's just a mixing of two doses without showing any efficacy, and the efficacy which is already known. So such types of mere combinations are not allowed by the Indian Patent Office. And see, method of treating condition X is not patentable. Method of treating condition X is a patentable, but a composition, method of treatment. A method of treatment is not patentable, but if you say it is a composition for treating a particular disease, then it's a composition claim, so it is allowed. So those types of things we should be very careful. If you claim a use claim, then it is not allowed. If you claim a composition claim, then it is allowed. And I already discussed that software are not patentable, but we can patent if it is in sync with some hardware. Like tele-robotic surgery, we have hardware as well as some software. Accurate measurement of psychological parameter devices, that are hardware and software. So those things can be patented, provided you should show the working of software as a process, not as a software as a process. So in India, there are examples like 2825 Chennai 2007 case is there, where display parameter and format selection system as a medical device was patented, in which display parameter claim 1 to 12 related to display parameter, and other claims are related to process. So process or method. So software can be patented as a process steps. So those things, if we keep in mind, then we can have a better idea that what type of innovations can be patented in India or protected in India. So you can see that this is a display parameter device. So it is patented, and now they have seen various, like there are various beds are there, bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, and all the parameters are coming to a centralized nursing unit where we can monitor all the data from all the bed at a single screen. So those types of graphical user interface, you can say, were patented in India. So, and in case if there is no specific hardware, only the general hardware is used, then in that case you can protect the software in terms of copyrights. Now, we can go for another approach, that is design registration. You can see that there are some like Medtronics, Lasertronics. There are companies that are regularly registering their shape and configuration of the product. So this is also one type of intellectual property that can be registered in India and other countries. And now thing is that, but since medical healthcare sector is very crucial sector and it is related to public at large, so we have various provisions, including the provision of compulsory licensing. Like we have seen that in this particular time when the medicine shortage was there, and US and all countries were asking from India various medicines related to COVID treatment. So what Israel did, they recently in March 2020, they issued a compulsory license to import generic version of lopinavir and ritonavir. That is a medicine of AbbVie, that is Caltera. So basically they issued a compulsory license that Indian generic manufacturer can manufacture the same salt and supply to the Israel, because Indian law and Israel law has a provision that if some country in case of emergency situation require particular medication, then patent validity can be invalidated and it can be disregarded. So fortunately, AbbVie has also announced that they will not take any legal action because it's a time of emergency, and they also regard the patent law both Israel and India. So means in certain circumstances, patent law can be disregarded and the community can be benefited. So this is the thing. So what are the lessons? What are the concern in the last few slides? That is, patent is a territorial right. So I have seen that most of the subcontinent inventors, what they do, they patent only in India or in some small countries. They don't go for abroad patenting. So that may be crucial aspect, because possibly that technology is more useful in that country, in abroad country. So this is the sort of, we can say, awareness that need to be put into mind, that it can be patented in other countries. Second thing is that patentable subject matter. Suppose in India, some patents, diagnostic method are not allowed, but in USA and Australia and New Zealand it is allowed. So this variation is also very crucial, that which country allow which patent and which they do not. Different practices are adopted, different patent office, that is also a challenge. And fees is a very crucial aspect, because in European and US countries we have to pay a lot of fees. So that need to be taken care of. Then enforcement in individual countries. Suppose your patent is infringing in Zimbabwe, then you need to take the legal action in Zimbabwe, not from India. So those types of strategy you need to take care. Okay, then suitable manufacturing partner license agreement. What type of license agreement we can make with the third party, so that there is a smooth interaction between our IP and the manufacturing. They don't infringe our IP after the agreement is over. So those types of things need to be taken care of. So these are the some other aspects that I think you are already aware. Most of people, because IP has very short life, only 20 years from the date of filing. So sometimes patent grant itself takes 3 to 5 years. So we have practically 15 years of monopoly, and possibly their alternatives are also there. Some parallel work is also going by third party. So suitable, so everything need to be taken care into account. That then only the means commercialization aspect can be a successful result for any entrepreneur or any manufacturer. So I think by this we can end the session, and we can open the floor for question answer.
Thank you, Vikas Ji, for nice presentation on different concepts related to IPR and patent, and also different issues that are related. Thank you very much. Now I invite Dr. Virinder Gird to share with us about CI Biotech.
Thank you, Dr. Sakshi. Let me introduce Center for Innovation and Biodesign to all of our esteemed panel members and the audience. Center for Innovation and Biodesign is a program established at PGIMR Chandigarh under the aegis of ICMR New Delhi. Next. Our inspiration is our Honorable Prime Minister, who invited all the Indians for making an Atmanirbhar Bharat. He aptly gave a mantra that we need to be vocal for local, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. At CI BioD, we are trying to envision his visionary mission. Thank you. Next. CBIOT was established in 2018, and then our Honorable Health Minister Shri J.P. Nadda ji aptly described that innovation will help better health services in India, and we are trying to bring different stakeholders to devise the new strategies, new softwares, and new hardware to come across the various bottlenecks to make the healthcare affordable and accessible in the remote areas of the India to the marginal societies. Next. Our visionary health minister, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, who himself is an ENT surgeon, he gave us a mantra for sustainable development in the world. For India to grow at a sustainable pace, technology and innovation have to become all pervasive across all sectors of development. And we here at CBIOT trying to give shape to this vision in the healthcare sector by bringing the various technical stakeholders and the clinicians across the table in ideation, prototyping, and then commercialization of various thoughts, software, devices, and equipment. Next. Our vision is to bring all the stakeholders on a single platform to promote the interdisciplinary research so that we may come across the India-centric solutions for our healthcare problems. Next. Our mentor is Padma Shri Professor Balram Bhargav, who is Director General of the ICMR, and I am the principal investigator of this project. Professor Surinder Singh Rana is the co-principal investigator. Professor Harish Kumar is the co-principal investigator. We are extremely thankful to various of our senior colleagues who gave their consent and who are continuously putting their efforts in guiding us and in making the CBAD more relevant and more productive to achieve the target. We have constituted one advisory board, including the senior clinicians and technocrats, and one executive board, including the various clinicians from the PGI and the surrounding institutes, and various domain experts from the various technical fields to guide and to scale the various projects, and one innovation council comprising of the leaders of the healthcare corporate world to guide us to commercialize our various products and to know the cause, the need of the healthcare market, and to devise the solutions accordingly. To give shape to all these motives, around 20 institutes are there along with us who are the part of our brain trust and with whom we have signed the MOU. With the blessings and with support from all of you, we will be seeking your continuous support in future to make our dreams realized in the field of healthcare, to make quality healthcare accessible and affordable for the last person in the India. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garg. Thank you very much. May I now seek permission from our presiding guest, Dr. Ajay Kumar, to confer CI BioD awards. Sir.
Yes, I think. Yes,
I
please,
invite Dr. Garg to please announce the award, first award.
The first award, with due permission from our worthy president, Dr. Ajay Kumar of the session. Sir, on your behalf, I am announcing the first award, CBAD, the Healthcare Social Work Award of the Year, to Ms. Jaya Bhardwaj. And I will request Dr. Sakshi to introduce Dr. Jaya Bhardwaj.
Thank you, sir. Madam Jaya Bhardwaj, Principal Hansraj Public School, Panchkula. She's a renowned name in the social sector. Under her leadership, the school has achieved new heights and new dimensions. And she has done outstanding contribution in blood donation. Many, many congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Second award, sir.
Second CBAD Healthcare Social Award goes to Shri S.P.S. Sabrai, Chairman Apex Group. On behalf of Dr. Ajay Kumar, I take privilege and honor to announce this award. Now I will request Dr. Sakshi to introduce Shri S.P.S. Sabrai to our esteemed panelists and our audience.
Dr. Surinder Pal Singh Abrai is the chairman of the Apex Group of companies with offices in Dubai. He has done outstanding social work in affordable healthcare. He is managing trustee of Sarbat Da Palat Charitable Trust in Patiala. Sarbat Da Palat Charitable Trust is dedicated to social economic transformation of rural and remote areas of India, especially the weaker and socially underprivileged groups, through physical, social, cultural, and economic development of rural people, groups, and institutions. Thank you very much, sir, and many, many congratulations, sir.
May I just add that congratulations to both Shri Obrai ji and Srimati Jaya ji for congratulations, and my best wishes that God may give you strength to serve the humanity, to continue to serve the humanity in future as well. So very well done. You are really deserving to get these awards. And of course, more than congratulations, my best wishes to continue the work for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
May I request Jaya ma'am to say a few words?
Thank you, Shakshi ma'am. Thank you so much. A very warm good evening to all of you. Respected chief guest and chairman for the session, and the members of Center for Innovation and Biodesign, and dear friends. It is my proud privilege to attend this session with an august gathering that has already carved a niche for themselves in their respective fields. Honestly, my efforts in the field of healthcare are actually minuscule in comparison, but then a drop in the ocean has its own small contribution to fill in. And this is what I've always inspired me to work. Moreover, whatever we do may not be done singularly, and hence it's the team that works to achieve any goal. And I too have a strong backing of my friends, colleagues, and other Samaritans in this regard. I know that the time is short, and still CBOD has come up with this magnificent online event aptly under the title of Atmanirbhar Bharat. With the famous Shakespearean adage in mind, the show must go on. I have personally seen Dr. Virinder Garg and his team to do a Herculean task in the field of healthcare, in which he has the blessings of a person of stature, none other than Dr. Harshvardhan, the Union Minister for Health, and even Dr. Jagat Ram, Director PGI, and a number of other distinguished medical professionals. I am humbled over this honor, though I feel that there are many, maybe many others who deserve this better. I know that their effort will also be recognized at some or other time. As for me, I am thankful to the CBOD for this honor, which would always push me to do better work in the field of healthcare. Rather, after this, it becomes a responsibility to take your work more sincerely and seriously. Thank you very much once again. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Oberoi ji to please share a few words with our audience. Sir. Sir, you need to unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
हेल्थ केयर सोशल वर्क अवार्ड के लिए मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं सभी का, स्पेशली डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र और पूरे ऑल मेंबर साहबान का। और साथ ही मैं सरबत की भला चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट की तरफ से ये विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि जैसे मैंने मेडिकल फील्ड में चाहे इक्विपमेंट है चाहे कुछ भी है मैं काम करता आ रहा हूं, हमारी संस्था ऐसे इन फ्यूचर में भी ये काम रेगुलर करती रहेगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. May I now invite Dr. Ajay Kumar to share, please, presidential remarks.
Well, dear friends, it has been a great learning experience and quite an enlightening experience for me. This meeting is a great beginning for many more good things to come. As I said, the doctors per se are very poor entrepreneurs and very poor. They will so much burdened with their day-to-day education and the patient care issues. Quite often they will have new thoughts and ideas, but always feel a barrier that somebody could bring the ideas into practical reality and carry it forward. And that's a problem which medical profession has faced. And once the problems of medical care dealing with the health of the humanity, then unless the thought processes, the ideations originate from the profession, it's difficult to carry it forward. I think what I remember from my students' days, I had quoted even yesterday. One of the first persons that from India, one of the first persons to vocalize these thoughts was Professor Valyathan, the famous cardiac surgeon who had a short stint at PGI in the faculty and then has been associated with Chitra Institute and Manipal Institute. I mean, he's the one who has been propagating it for ages, that we need to get a platform where the medical brains, engineering brains, the leading institute, universities, administrators combine together to create to transform the ideas into practical shape. And then we need to have entrepreneurs or the agencies to carry those actual products into practice. And that's exactly what I see today, that this thought process, all those slogans of local, vocal, quality, and Atmanirbhar, they will be realistic only by models like this. And so it's a huge responsibility on this organization to carry forward these thoughts forward. And after looking at the deliberations over the last 2 days, I'm pretty confident that this will be a success and it will be a landmark. The way the PGI Chandigarh has been a landmark and has made a real mark across the health scenario, not only in India, but nationally and internationally. The standards set by our doyens, Professor Santokh Singh, Professor Chutani, Professor Tulsidas, and so on. And of course, later on, all the doyens, and they're my teachers. I think what their impact they made in the field of medical education, medical practice, and the patient care, and same thing has to be replicated in this newer entity of Symbiote. And I'm pretty confident that when something starts from PGI Chandigarh, it has to set an example for the entire country. We are aware of certain more centers that across the country, which is working on the same thought process. I've heard about centers in Kanpur, centers in Hyderabad, and then of course, Bengaluru. But as I said, with the backing of a medical institute like PGI, it has to make a distinct difference. And this has to be the leader in the entire field. And I'm pretty confident that we'll achieve that. And with that, first, I congratulate the organizers to have organized such a wonderful interaction of thought process. I congratulate all the award winners for being honored for this huge lifetime work they have put in. And God, as I said, may God give them strength and energy to carry forward the good work they have been doing till now. And of course, and I wish the organizer the best for the future activities. Thank you very much.
Sir, there is one request. Shri Muralidharan Ji, Honorable State Minister for External Affairs, was supposed to join us. His flight is late, so he is joining us within 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I will take permission from Dr. Ajay to continue the session, sir.
For sure, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your generosity, sir. Sir, by then I will complete some more information. I will tell some more information about CBIOT next. Sir, here is the information regarding some products which are developed or being developed by CBIOT. Sir, first product is there, that is e-stethoscope. Sir, in the pandemic, keeping in the view that doctor has to come to near the patient to auscultate the chest or the heart, and in that process, doctor is exposed to the nasal and oral secretions of the patient. We have developed one e-stethoscope, sir. So this is an excellent clinical as well as academic tool. Sir, this is cordless. Doctor can hear the sound from a distance of 10 meters even, and this is useful for the undergraduate and postgraduate classes also, and we can store the sounds also, sir. So second is G1.
Design and development of automated MU
Sir, second is the G1. This is the automated MU bag. Sir, mostly MU bags, automated MU bags designed in the early days of lockdown. They were almost just only pumping machines. Sir, in this MU bag inflator, we have incorporated the automated controls. We can control the breath rate as well as tidal volume, as well as the oxygen concentration of the inspired air. Sir, this is a cheap solution for the pandemic crisis as well as the normal peripheral Indian emergencies where the lack of ventilator is a big cause of the mortality. So this is a very cheap machine. Sir, to run the single prototype, we spent only rupees 30 to 40,000, and in the mass production, this can be available below 10,000 only, sir.
Next is Arogya Sahai.
Sir, third one is the Arogya Sahai. Sir, this is the RoboCard. Sir, with audio-visual bilateral communication between the patient and the nursing and the medical staff, sir. Sir, during the COVID pandemic, the communication between the patient and the doctor and the nursing staff is hit very badly due to the PP kits. So one cannot lower the guard, either the nursing or the medical staff. Sir, to provide the good nursing and medical care with good communication without compromising the safety level of the medical and paramedical staff, this is a very good RoboCard, sir. Sir, this can be used to deliver the medicines and the goods as well as bilateral audio-visual communication with the doctor from the nursing or the medical station itself. Next. Sir, fourth one is Namo Gamcha. Sir, when our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji invited the entire nation in the rural setup to use the Gamcha as mask, then we observed that there are three major hurdles in the rural setup. Number one, poor people cannot afford the disposable masks daily. Number two, the used masks will create an environmental hazard as well as medical risk for the spread of the infections. Number three, they are not culturally acceptable. So then we come up with this Namo Gamcha. Sir, we incorporated the 3-layer mask in the Gamcha, and sir, this can be wear without any physical discomfort to the rural masses, and it is washable. No biomedical waste is generated, and it is affordable. It can be used n number of the times by washing with simple soap, sir. Sir, after that, fifth one is the Rakshak tunnel. Sir, when in the initial days there were many tunnels used with sodium hypochlorite as a spray, and there were among the medical fraternity about the use of sodium hypochlorite as disinfectant, and as well as there was a question mark on the efficacy of such tunnels. So then we come up with this tunnel. It can screen the patient with from the thermal imaging, as well as can disinfect the patient by using the aerosols, not the normal sprays. It not only increases the efficacy, but it also decreases the discharge of the chemical into the environment, as well as it helps in the regulating the movement of the patient with fever who are not more symptomatic and who are not segregated yet. So our sixth product is the EOPD. So this is the product where we are coming up with the algorithm to replace the entire paperwork in the OPD, pharmacy, and the laboratory. The patient will come at a station and his or her vitals will be acquired by automated measures, and those will be transmitted to the screen of the doctor, and patient will be given a unique ID number, and doctor will write the history on his pad, which will be electronically stored, and the prescription as well as the investigation suggested will be sent to the lab and the pharmacy of the hospital automatically. Patient will go to the lab and give his UID number, and the test will be done by the lab, and when patient will go to the pharmacy from the UID number, by checking the new prescription, drugs will be dispensed, and the prescription as well as reports will be sent to the doctor and the patient electronically in PDF form. Patient can get the print of those reports, prescriptions, and history at any point of time whenever he or she requires. Our seventh product is COVID helmet. This helmet is designed for especially for the ENT, eye, and the dental surgeon. In this helmet, there is negative pressure mechanism. There are two separate airways. One is filtered airway for the inhalation, and one is the watertight airway for the exhaled air, so that if doctor is positive, then he or she should not discharge the virus in the environment. After that, it's carbon disinfectant. So it is a simple machine which is supposed to be fitted in the boot leg of the space of the car. When we'll go to the market for shopping and we will purchase any material and will put in the car boot, it will be disinfected by ultraviolet radiation while we will reaching home. Our ninth product is Arogya Prahari. This is the younger brother of Arogya Setu. In this algorithm, we are trying to incorporate HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, and tuberculosis along with the COVID, so that habit of loading such applications of the phone should continue with the society after the COVID pandemic is over. And by this application, we will try to minimize the spread of the tuberculosis in the society, as well as we will try to create a database about the hepatitis C, B, and HIV patients. So in case of emergency in the periphery, there should be not any accidental spread of hepatitis C, B, or AIDS to the medical staff and the other patients. Thank you. Next. Next. And 10th product is Sensi Wallet. Sensi Wallet is a small pocket carry device. It is used to disinfect the currency notes. It can count the currency notes and disinfect the currency notes. And our 11th one is Sensi Office Manager. This is a similar product which can disinfect A4 size paper, and it can be used in the offices to disinfect the files and the papers. And our 12th product is snorkeling mask. This mask is the simple snorkeling mask used for the snorkelers in the sea. In this mask, we have incorporated 2 HEPA filters and 1 mic as well as speaker. This can be used by the surgeons in the OT to minimize the risk of the COVID. Next. Thank you. So we are working on many such more products, and we'll see further support from all the esteemed panelists, dignitaries, so that in the future we may come up with more products and more solutions for more upcoming health problems.
Obrai sir, can we request you to share something about Sarbadda Pala? Sir, please unmute yourself. Unmute. Yes, sir.
जी अभी आ रही आवाज जी?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
हाँ जी, सरबत का भला जो ट्रस्ट है ये 2012 में पटियाला से शुरू किया गया था और इसमें हम कोई 26-27 जो हमारे जो काम हम कर रहे हैं, जिसमें शिक्षा और सेहत में हम ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं। स्पेशली अगर मेडिकल की बात करें तो मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट्स हो गए या और फैसिलिटीज़ जो हम दे सकते हैं। कोविड-19 में हमने पीजीआई से स्टार्ट करके 5 के 5 जो हमारे मेडिकल कॉलेजेस हैं, चाहे वो अमृतसर है, चाहे फरीदकोट है, या पटियाला में है, या पीजीआई हो गया, या इसके अलावा जो जम्मू मेडिकल कॉलेज है, और उसके अलावा जितने हमारे सिविल हॉस्पिटल्स हैं पंजाब के सारे कंप्लीट, उनको हो गया, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट हो गया। तो इनको पीपी किटें चाहिए थी, N95 मास्क थे, इंफ्रारेड थर्मामीटर्स थे, जो भी सामान इनको चाहिए था सारा हमने टाइम से पहले इनको प्रोवाइड किया। सिर्फ इस चीज को देखते हुए कि जैसे अमृतसर में प्रोटेस्ट हुआ डॉक्टरों का, जलंधर में सिविल हॉस्पिटल में हुआ, लेकिन जिस दिन प्रोटेस्ट हुआ उसके अगले दिन हमने नेक्स्ट डे हमने 1-1 हजार जैसे पीपी किट हो गई, या जो सामान चाहिए था सारा उनको हमने प्रोवाइड कर दिया, और आज तक हम प्रोवाइड करते आ रहे हैं। इसके अलावा एयरपोर्ट्स, जैसे पहले फ्लाइटें बंद थी, अभी फ्लाइटें शुरू होगी, तो उनको भी तो ये सब प्रोटेक्शन के लिए सब चाहिए था। तो अमृतसर एयरपोर्ट से हमने स्टार्ट करके उनको सारा सामान दिया। इवन हमारी जो 46 जो हमारी बीएसएफ की जो चौकियां हैं जो बॉर्डर के ऊपर, तो उनमें क्या है कि जो इधर के किसान हैं वो दीवार के उस पार जो हमारी जमीन है वहां वो खेती करने जाते हैं, तो उनके साथ बीएसएफ के जवान भी जाते हैं। तो उनकी भी एक रिक्वेस्ट थी, तो उनको भी हमने ये सारा जो सामान था वो सप्लाई किया। वेंटिलेटर की जरूरत थी, जैसे अभी डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र बता रहे थे, तो 20 वेंटिलेटर हमने ऑर्डर देके जहां जहां वेंटिलेटर की जरूरत थी वहां पहुंचा दी। उसके बाद एम्बुलेंसेज हो गई, और जब हमने देखा कि डेथ रेट अभी बढ़ता जा रहा है और डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज अभी उनके पास जो है शव वैन नहीं है, तो हमने 12 के करीब जो शव वैन है वो भी हमने सिविल हॉस्पिटल्स में या जहां थी देनी वो दे दी। ऐसे ही जो डायलिसिस की बात करें तो आज की डेट में 192 डायलिसिस यूनिट जो है हमारे वो पंजाब और उसके अलावा 8 और स्टेटों में चल रहे हैं। राजस्थान में हमारे चल रहे हैं, हरियाणा में है, पंजाब में तो है ही है, हिमाचल में हमारे 12 यूनिट चल रहे हैं, 8 यूनिट और आ रहे हैं अभी, इसको हमने कवर किया। इसके अलावा जो लेबोरेटरीज थी हमारी, जैसे टेस्ट होते हैं इतने महंगे हो चुके हैं कि आम आदमी करा ही नहीं सकता था, आज जो हमारी यहाँ 18 लेबोरेटरीज हमारी चल रही हैं और 9 लेबोरेटरी इस महीने में और आ रही हैं। सो 27 हमारी जो लेबोरेटरीज हैं ये हो जाएंगी। और इसमें जो टेस्ट बाजार में जैसे पैकेज होता है कि 3,000-3,500 का है, हमारे ट्रस्ट में जो हमारी जो लैब है उसमें सिर्फ 300 रुपए में होता है। सिंपल हम ECG की बात करें तो सिर्फ 20 रुपए चार्ज किए जाते हैं। सो ऐसा ये हमारे जो भी हमने काम ये किए हैं इसलिए है कि डायरेक्ट जो है जो पेशेंट है उसको फायदा मिलना चाहिए। 4,500 के करीब हमारे पास जो ऐसे पेशेंट हैं जिनको हम मेडिसिन दे रहे हैं मंथली बेसिस के ऊपर। विडो पेंशन स्कीम की बात करें तो 13,000 के करीब हमारी विडोज हैं जहाँ जरूरतमंद है, जहाँ बुढ़ापा पेंशन है, तो हमने उनको पेंशन जो है 750 रुपए से लेकर 5,000 रुपये महीने तक पेंशन हमने लगाई हुई है, जो पिछले 10 साल से रेगुलर उनको मिलती जा रही है। सो ऐसे फील्ड में एजुकेशन में हो गया तकरीबन 9,500 के 10,000 के करीब हमने बच्चे जो हैं +2 के बाद वो हमने अडॉप्ट किए हुए हैं उनको हायर स्टडी के लिए। हर यूनिवर्सिटी से, हर कॉलेज से हम 100 बच्चा जो गांव का है, स्पेशली लड़कियां उसमें जो हैं उनको हम लेते हैं। इसके अलावा एक हमने और 2 साल पहले जो स्कीम शुरू की थी कि जो सिंगल पेरेंट्स है या पेरेंट्स लेस है तो उनको हम नंबर भी नहीं देखते, तो उनको तो हम पूरी उनकी फीस माफ करके उनको अडॉप्ट कर लेते हैं ताकि बच्चे जितना पढ़ना चाहें वो बच्चे पढ़ सकते हैं। सो ऐसी काफ़ी हमारी जो स्कीमें चल रही है। इस बार जो हम काम कर रहे हैं स्पेशल नीड्स के बच्चे, MR बच्चे हैं, डेफ एंड डम्ब हैं, ब्लाइंड बच्चे हो गए, हैंडीकैप है, इवन ऑटिज्म है, तो इसके ऊपर अभी हमारा ट्रस्ट है जो काफ़ी हमारे स्कूल चल भी रहे हैं। और अभी जो नया हमने किया वो IIT रोपड़ के साथ हमारा जो MOU साइन हुआ है, तो एक इन स्पेशल बच्चों की जो यूनिवर्सिटी जो अभी तक इंडिया में नहीं है, सो फर्स्ट यूनिवर्सिटी है जड़ी वो हमारी पटियाला में या रोपड़ में है, ये हम बहुत जल्दी ही स्थापित करने जा रहे हैं। ऐसे काफ़ी हमारे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, जैसे हम आँखों के कैंप लगाते थे, अभी हमने कैंप सारे बंद कर दिए हैं। और मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि 57 जो हॉस्पिटल है हमारे पैनल के ऊपर है पूरे पंजाब, हरियाणा, हिमाचल में। तो अभी हमने OPD में जाते हैं, हमारे स्लिप लेके जाते हैं, वहीं उनको चेकअप होने के बाद उनके लेंस बढ़ जाते हैं। मंथली बेस पे जो है हम हॉस्पिटल को पेमेंट दे देते हैं। जितने हमारे सिविल हॉस्पिटल हैं इनकी हालत सबको पता है कि क्या है, इसलिए इनको सेल काउंटर चाहिए थे, सेमी ऑटो एनालाइजर चाहिए थे, कहीं अल्ट्रासाउंड चाहिए या डिजिटल एक्सरे चाहिए। तो ये सब चीज़ें जो हमने पूरी बल्क में इनको प्रोवाइड किया है। और आज भी हम ऐसे कर रहे हैं कि जैसे कोई डिमांड आती है, महसूस करते हैं कि यहाँ इस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है, तो हम कोशिश करते हैं कि पूरी करें और इसको हम पूरा करते रहेंगे। मेरी तो यही एक ख्वाहिश है।
ग्रेट वर्क सर। हम पढ़ते रहते हैं न्यूज़पेपर में आपके फिलैंथ्रोपी वाले सारे जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज होती हैं।
थैंक यू मैडम।
थैंक यू सर। जया मैम। हाँ जी मैम, आप कुछ ब्लड डोनेशन का बता दीजिए, कैसे क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज रही हैं पीछे कुछ टाइम में आपकी।
Blood donation, it has been a practice in our school for the last more than 15 years. And you see, in Hansraj, we believe in that we have to start from the, beginning. Young people should be knowing the value of donation, particularly blood donation, because this is something which can't be bought. So we motivate our children. They motivate their parents and the neighbors and everybody. And of course, I'm privileged to have PGI as a partner. Only from PGI, the team comes to our school. We do it in the month of May every year. It is the first Saturday of May we organize. And last 2 years, we had been doing it for twice in a year also. But this year, unfortunately, because of the COVID situation, the schools are not working. So we couldn't organize one. But we had all the donators in our list. And whenever there was a need, somebody approached us. We used to call them and they used to go and give the blood. And of course, we couldn't do it. As I said, I couldn't do it single-handedly. This credit goes to my entire team, my teachers and my students, particularly the young ones, little Hansarians, who motivate their parents, right? And the parents, and I know a family, from that family, nearly 12% used to come, all the relatives and everybody. And they had been coming for the last 10 years. I used to honor them also. Whenever the couple donors are there, mother and father come, sometimes that mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law come, and whatever it is. But one thing we had been noticing off late, that ladies couldn't donate blood. Of course, they do register, maybe because of certain deficiencies or something, then the number goes down. Otherwise, we usually organize more than 250 or 270 per day, like we have it in the month of May, right? But this year we couldn't do it. Of course, let's see once the vaccine comes in and my children start coming to school, and we could organize it again. And to promote this, we used to have competitions also. For 1 week, we used to have a morning talk in the assembly where the teachers tell about the importance of blood donation to our children. And even the children have a, say, chart making competition, and the charts and everything used to be displayed at the venue, so that even the parents who come, they also realize that it is, because we couple it with the PTM also. So those who have not even donated and they get self-motivated, they do come to that place and donate blood. We believe in that. It's of course very minuscule work, but we feel that whatever we could do to the society, we are contributing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So-
Thank you.
We are using this extra time. You people are so generous to us. There is one problem. Muralidharan ji is on the way and he wants to join. So there was a message from Sir's PS that he will join within 5-7 minutes. Now there is some connectivity issue, I think. So I was talking to him only. But I must narrate my experience also, because I am first hand in association with Srimati Jaya Bhagwat ji and Shri SPS Oberoi ji. Both of you are doing a very big job, because ma'am is not only making the people donate the blood, but she is inculcating the value of blood donation, habit of blood donation, and this will go a long way. The next generation will be better than this generation, and India will not face the shortage in terms of blood and organ donation. Here in the hospitals, as a medico, we came across thousands and thousands of the people daily who are dying for the lack of timely availability of the suitable blood or organ to them. By doing such a noble job in the school, Madam is inculcating the value of doing this human act in the thousands and thousands of students, and those will carry these values in their entire lifetime, and they will spread this positivity in our society in a big way. And Shri SPS Oberoi ji is an institution in himself. He is not a single person, but he is a big institute in itself. Sometimes I wonder that how varied spectrum of activities he is carrying single-handedly. When Corona struck our country, and as a premier institute, PJ was frontline institute, then he was the first one to call us and to ask us whatever PJ wants, I am here to donate, whether PPE kits or N95 masks or triple layer surgical masks or thermometers or oximeters or even ventilators. So it was such a pleasant surprise to have such generous people from society supporting the frontline corona warriors. So whenever I used to meet always a new activity, a new aspect of the activity of Sarbat Amara Trust and SPS Oberoi came to our knowledge. So we wish that both of you will carry on in spreading the positivity, and both of you will be the milestone lamp post for motivating thousands and millions of people to extend one step toward humanity, to chip in, to donate blood, to donate material, to donate organs, to give a respite to the suffering humanity, and to hold the finger of the people who are at the margin of society. who don't have enough resources to get their near and dear one treated, who doesn't have enough resources to mobilize the people to donate blood for their near and dear when they are in need, who don't have enough resources to mobilize the material for the treatment. So people like you are the pillars of our society. Our culture and our society believe in the social responsibility. That's why the health insurance could not spread its tentacles in India like it has done in the Western world. Because Western society believes in the commercial insurance, but the Indian society believes in the social insurance. Whenever anybody who doesn't have any resources will be in trouble, then the society will come forward to hold his or her hand. And society will not let anybody die in the lack of the treatment or the material or the blood or the anything like this. So we are honored to honor both of you because this honor is just endorsement of that work which we consider as work of God. So you both are God-sent angels who are working relentlessly, selflessly for the most suffering humanity. So I hope that millions of fellow Indians will take inspiration from both of you and will put their best foot forward to make India self-reliant in the field of the affordable health care by promoting the blood donation and by promoting the medical equipments and medicine donation. So, and I am again thankful to you for spending 20 extra minutes with us, but till now, I don't have any information from Honorable Minister Sir. So, I will invite Dr. Sakshi for vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Honorable guests and participants, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on completion of two-day international summit Atmanirbhar Bharat, India as manufacturing hub for global health. On behalf of CI Biod team, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers and guests during these 2 days for gracing their important work and sharing with us findings and opinions. I extend heartfelt gratitude to the India-EU ICT Standardization Collaboration Project team. A big thank to Dr. Varinder Garg, Dr. Harish Kumar, and Dr. Surinder Rana towards their guidance in streamlining and organizing this event. I may like to express thanks to Dr. Veenu and team members of CI Biod, Gunjan Sharma, Gunjan Kaushik, Kanupriya, Siddhant, Aishwarya, and Sunil for their enormous cooperation in organizing this event. Special thanks to Mr. Satish Verma and Vikas Wali for their full-fledged technical support. Thank you all. So,
Thank you, sir. So we will seek his help.
thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ji. Thank you very much.